Yabba Dabba Doo. Hey folks, it's Saturday evening here, and I'm in the Target parking lot, and someone just popped off some fireworks. So now somebody's cars are near me now because they want to look at the fireworks. Like, I've never seen fireworks before. Well, anyways, we got to talk about the week. This podcast is another uneventful episode, no guest. But not really much happened this week. As you guys know, it's Thanksgiving week. Monday and Friday, I went to the gym, got my Chipotle bowl. Things got pushed around because of the holiday. Thursday for Thanksgiving, I went down to my sister's place. About 10 of us in this, house. And it's like the same thing every year. It's family, we see each other and how you been, and we take pictures. But it's like, I really don't care. And I live with my family. I see them every day. So I'm like, I don't, not all of them, but most of them. So it's like, I really don't care to do that. But whatever, I'm just cranky, and it's family. So pretty much Tuesday and Wednesday, I went to 2 comedy open mics, but I didn't get on. That's right. I went to 2 music open mics, and the problem with music open mics is, sometimes they don't care about comedy, and that's what I do, and they don't want to see it. They don't, especially my kind of comedy, So Tuesday, I went to the drum circle open mic. John C. Riley texted me and said, "Hey, that drum circle mic you talk about, I want to check it out. What time do I get there?" And I said, "Well, if you want a good spot, you should get there at 6:30. He said, "All right." So I got there a little after 7. I went straight there, and I got a club soda, chicken cheesesteak. Not that that matters. And he was number 4. He had a good spot. He said, "Oh, sorry, man, I would have signed you up. I didn't know." I said, "It's all right." I said, "You know what? I was number 10. I said, I probably won't go on tonight. I'll just watch the show. I just want to get out the house tonight for a little bit." So we hung out. John went up number 4. And as far as the set goes, I actually thought his set was funny. He did his usual stuff. He talked about politics. He talked about weeders. But, they weren't really a comedy crowd. And it was really loud. So the band was tuned up behind him. And they, like I said, they didn't want to hear. They weren't. Some people were very polite. They were listening. And he got some chuckles. But they thought he went too far. And I didn't think he was offensive at all. I mean, but of course, coming from me, I know people go, "Oh, of course, coming from you, you do all this dirty stuff on stage." Well, yeah, that's what I got into comedy to do. You get into comedy to do the kind of comedy that you want to do. So fuck off, So anyways, I thought John was all right. I laughed at some of his stuff. But, he did okay all in all. And then he left about 20 minutes later. And he said, "Sorry, I got to leave." I said, "It's okay." And I stayed till like about 9:30-ish. They were only on like number 6. So which means if by the time I went up, it would have been 10:30. And I said, "You know what? I'm not going to play that game. I'm out of here." So I just crossed my name off. I wasn't pissed or anything. And I just left. I got home around 10-ish. And then Wednesday, I didn't know where to go. I got nowhere to go. I didn't know where to go. I was like, I could go to, I was thinking I could go to Chili's or I go to Parks or something, or I don't know. I was thinking I'll go to the Royal. I checked the Facebook page. They had an open mic. But I knew I wouldn't get on. I just had a feeling. I said, it was raining out that night. Tuesday and Wednesday. Both nights were raining like balls. And actually, I forgot to mention that John C. Riley actually put up a bonus episode of the JoshCast. You guys saw with John C. Riley at the open mic this past Monday. I told him, yeah, the episode will be up to follow. And I got 2 more interviews to put up. And it's only about 4 minutes. So if you want to see me interview somebody for 4 minutes, it's up there. So anyways, Wednesday, I decided to go to the Royal. It was raining out. I wasn't that hungry. I kind of had a tummy ache. And I said, I'll go. I grabbed the number. I grabbed number 5. There was a bunch of numbers on the table. And of course, they called everybody's number except mine. And the place was getting kind of packed. There was a good amount of acts there. And I didn't end up going. I was going to be number 14. Now, if you're number 14 at a regular comedy open mic, that's usually not that bad because they get 5-minute sets. Remember, this is a music open mic. So the bands get 10, 15 minutes, plus they got to set up. So I said, I won't be going on until 10:30 or so. I'm not staying that long. So I gave my number back to the room. I said, yeah, I'm not going to go on. I'm just going to watch. And I just sat there and watched the show. I didn't even get a Diet Coke. Usually I get a Diet Coke. And I watched this comedian, Andy Nolan, who's really funny. He's one of my favorite comics. He does this Thanksgiving bit where, you remember you used to trace your hand like a turkey? Where he does a whole bit where he brings up a whole bunch of cards. And he does a bunch of different things. Like, oh, this is Donald Trump's turkey, and it's orange. And, oh, this is Stevie Wonder's, and it's, like, half messed up because he's blind. And, oh, it's, like, a really funny bit. So I stayed for about 2 hours. I left, and then I was hungry. I didn't eat nothing all night. So I said, all right, I'll go to McDonald's near my house. So I went to McDonald's. It was packed. There was, like, 7 cars in front of me. I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to wait. If that's 7 cars, it's the night before Thanksgiving, I'm going to be here for, like, 30, 40 minutes. I mean, probably not, but that's my guess. So I went to Popeyes. I left there, I went to Popeyes, and there was only 4 people out at Popeyes, but they had no chicken left. And the guy goes, sorry, everybody, it's going to take 10 to 15 minutes to get some more chicken. And I was like, fuck you. I didn't say that, but I walked out. So the only options left were Wendy's, and Wendy's was packed. So I went to Chipotle. Now, I didn't even want Chipotle. I already went to Chipotle on Monday night. I wasn't even in the mood for it, but it was the only place that didn't have a line. There was like 3 people in line at Chipotle. The line was really fast. So I went there, and I got my Chipotle bowl, my Coke Zero. And I got to tell you guys, it was weird eating at Chipotle that late at night. Usually when I get to Chipotle, it's like 8:30 at night after the gym. It was like 10:45 at night. And I'm eating a Chipotle bowl, and I'm not even drunk. And I'm like looking around and stuff, and it's just weird. It was freezing out, cold, rainy. So that was my Wednesday night. And last night, as you guys said, I went to the gym, got a Chipotle bowl, went home early. I've been watching, I just watched the first episode of Stranger Things. Season 5 just started. It's not my favorite show, but I do like it. It's got like an 80s cool kind of vibe. You know, for those who remember the Goonies and certain movies like that. It's pretty cool. And I just watched the first episode. And I know the show's lame. I've been watching Hell's Kitchen. I watched every episode of Hell's Kitchen. I've been watching that show since I've been in high school. It's not my favorite show. Chef Ramsay is not the same guy. He toned it down. He used to call women bitches. He used to throw stuff at people. He can't do that anymore. But I caught up some episodes of that, and I downloaded the movie, but I haven't watched it yet. It's called Goon, with the guy who played Stifler from American Pie, Sean William Scott. I still haven't watched it yet. But I could have stayed in tonight. And I could have, watched Stranger Things, but I decided I'm going to go out tonight because last night I got home early. Thursday I didn't go out, obviously, after the Thanksgiving dinner. And as far as tonight goes, I got here around 7-ish. I went to the beer store. I got this beer called Happy Daddy or something, Happy Dad. And it's an iced tea beer. I already did a beer review, so I guess you guys will see that in a few days. And I drank that really slow because I didn't want to get a cramp like 2 weeks ago. The beer review I put up this week was from 2 weeks ago. I didn't do one last week. And I put up a short of Chicky and Pete's Pizza. They got a pretty good views on the JoshCast Network channel. And I did a poop show at Thanksgiving. I was going to do a poop show on Monday. That's usually what I do, the last Monday of the month. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to do it on Thursday. Because, it's Thanksgiving. And that, to me, is a poop holiday. Everybody's filled with turkey and ham and all that stuff. And I was going to do a prank call show this week. But I decided not to because Friday was Black Friday. Or as I like to call it, Jack Friday. Hey-o. And I was like, everything's going to be closed. Plus, if I call people from Craigslist, they're probably not going to pick up. So we'll save the prank call show for next week. And folks, I'll get to the aftermath. I just took my first piss. I'm going to hang out here a little bit more in the parking lot. I'm bundled up today. I got my big coat on. I'm going to take one more piss inside Target. And then we're going to get something to eat. I really don't want to go to Chicky and Pete's tonight. So I'm leaning towards either Chick-fil-A or Wawa. One of those two. So we'll see. But nothing interesting ever happens. But we'll come back with the aftermath. And then we'll get to your least favorite segment. So you stay put there, you fucks. All right, the excited aftermath. I decided to go to Chick-fil-A. Haven't been there in a while. I decided to eat inside. I got the number one. I haven't got a Chick-fil-A sandwich in a while. That sandwich was smaller than my wiener. I mean, it was just not worth the price. And then I got 4 chicken tenders. Now, the chicken tenders were really hot and delicious, but the sandwich was just really small. Still felt hungry, and then I got a refill Coke Zero. Then I was driving back. The fucking lid was off. I guess that was my fault. I put the lid on. I thought it was on, and it got everywhere. It spilled over my pants, over my phones, over my seat. Yeah, then I just took another piss in Target, and I'm headed home early tonight. I just want to get out the house for a couple hours just to do a little beer review, get some food. And folks, that's it for the so-called not so much excited week. As far as next week on this show, as I said, hopefully a prank call show, and I don't know what else. As far as open mics, probably anywhere from Lucky. That's that. And now it's time to get to your least favorite segment. It's time to get to the odd news. Here's your least favorite segment. Let's get to it. France's far-right leader was hit by egg days after a flower attack. Well, you can hash that story for yourself. He's doing the Zig Heil thing. U.S. Berkeley kidnapping was actually a prank, police say. I guess they got punked. Kim Kardashian says she has low brain activity after getting a scan. This can't be. You guys, I know I talked about this before the show. She's had so much big black wiener that makes your brain cells go down. Reminds me of somebody else, actually. Army OBG accused of secretly recording women under his care with over 80 allegations. Shout out to Dr. Cosby over there. Man was mauled by a bear in Japan while he was using a public toilet. I guess he couldn't bear the fact that he was... But, alright, something like that. Woman notices her dog has acted strange. Next day, she gets a life-changing diagnosis. So the dog's acting strange because he knew there was something wrong with her. Campbell's fire executives who was recorded say company's product are for poor people. It's not true at all. They got 4-pack of Campbell's soup. Isn't that like $8 or $9? Maybe you get at the dollar store. I don't know. Thieves take 90,000 euros of snails meant for Michelin star restaurants. I guess they were really slow with that result. Butt breathing could help people who can't get oxygen the regular way. Is that when you put your nose up somebody's behind? School seeks help finding a teddy bear that fought for the Stratus bear. Let's see, is there anything else? I guess because it was Thanksgiving week. The ShareWow guy's running for Congress in Texas. You guys know he's a conservative guy. He has a YouTube channel I follow, and he's all about this stuff. Influencer who calls a store by grabbing a baby wombat from road is arrested in Wyoming. I don't know anything about wombats, but this chick sounds batshit crazy. Bar owner won't apologize for banning solo drinkers, despite I guess this guy likes living yellow by getting rid of the solo. That's not good. That one good joke. Well, let's see if there's anything else on this one last news site. Astronomers discovered a strange structure behind Neptune. Search for baby giraffes continue as zoo owner remains in jail. Check Toys R Us. Yeah, Toys R Us is opening. Well, actually, they're making a comeback, they said. A thief electric bike has been recorded on CCTV, still a giant Christmas nutcracker soldier statue from a cocktail bar. Food influencer known as the Dining Dash Diva has been arrested in Brooklyn. I wonder what race that person is. Let's see. I wonder if they show it. Shocked U.S. driver 911 says, I just had a bald eagle drop a cat through my windshield. Yeah, I guess that was a clawed way. Yeah, they won't show the race of the person, but I have a feeling but I could be wrong. Unemployed son dressed as his dead mother to collect her pension in a Mrs. Doubtfire skin. This is scary, and he looks just like her. You know, the wig is like, you know, that, but he's got the same face as his mom, so it's actually a clever scheme. That's kind of scary, though. That's like those Tales from the Crypt shit. Car was coded twice in 15 days before anyone noticed a dead body in the back seat. Was this dirty work? Hey, there's a dead hooker in the back of your car. Wisconsin woman in 2014 slender man stabbed and found the day walking over to her home. Woman was found alive in a coffin after being brought in for cremation. I guess she was coughing, but nobody was hearing it. No, I guess she was knocking on wood. There's some jokes there somewhere. Florida 8-year-old stabs his grandmother, Serpil Adams, to save mom from a knife. I heard that last week. Well, folks, that's it for the show. I'll see you folks in the next one. You just listened to, and we're out of here. Go freak yourself, Cuffy.